and welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Just ahead on this month's show, we'll talk with the officers who worked side by side with citizens to save the life of a 4-year-old boy who fell into a swimming pool. It's an amazing story about teamwork and one you won't want to miss. Hope you'll stay with us. On June 14th, the town of Vinton hosted a celebration unlike any the town has ever seen. Booty Tuning and Mary Beth Lehman are here to talk about all of the details of this very grand celebration. Ladies, thank you so much for coming out to talk about, of course, the dedication for High Ground, the monument right behind us.
Thank you for having us, and yes, we are excited. We are delighted that it's come to this point, and we really are popping buttons because we've had so many grand comments about our dedication program and the monument. So we are thrilled.
Did you ever think you would get to June 14th and have such a beautiful celebration, Mary Beth?
We were wondering at times, but we never
definitely
gave up. It's a labor of love, and the reason why it's built in honor of those who serve and those who have served is a major motivation. The economy was strong when we started. About a year after, it slowed down a little bit, so it took a little bit longer than we anticipated. We stayed diligent in contacting folks, and we've had the wonderful support of many businesses and individuals. It's named giving donors, also people have purchased engraved bricks, personalized engraved bricks. They've been wonderful support.
Booty, tell us who this monument is dedicated to.
It's dedicated to all those that have served and are serving, to all our vets all over, and really it's for Vinton, Roanoke County, and other people if they would like to put a brick in for it. We still have to sell some more bricks, and we are there, and I think now when the people came to see their loved ones in there with their names popping up, it made them feel proud and great to have their loved ones there. So I think many more people will feel that too, and will want to come forth and have a brick for their loved ones there. So we're hoping that this is in honor of all of those people, and we just salute them all the way.
We pay special tribute to those who are killed in action from Vinton and Roanoke County. The names are listed on the inside of the monument on granite plaques around the fountain and on the columns. And we're grateful for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. We can't imagine what their families went through, but we're grateful for the freedoms we have because of those who currently serve and have served.
I think we got sort of a feeling of that, certainly the day of the celebration. So many stories, so many veterans. It was just such a beautiful experience just to hear everything that day.
We've had so many people say, we're so glad to have this, that we can go there and reflect. We can sit down and reflect about what has gone on before us and what's going on now in this world. So really we are just so thankful that we got it to this point. And I think back now, several years ago when we started, that some of the veterans would come and watch John working so hard, and that's another person. John is wonderful.
John Kirtley.
I mean, he worked so hard on this and did such an excellent job. And a lot of those vets would come and tell him their stories. So that's what gave us an idea for that video. And some of those that have passed in the last couple of years, and I'm just so sad that they didn't get to see the finished one.
It's almost like this monument here completes the Vinton War Memorial, because I think people, when you would come out before, you were like, where is the memorial? Of course, it was the building itself, which is a grand building, but to have this monument here really completes this whole area.
I say it's icing on the cake.
Very good.
I really feel like it's icing on the cake that all of a sudden we have this building, and it was a building, and a lot of people, like you say, did not realize there's not a monument.
Right.
So this monument is so beautiful that if we could take it up and just set it up on top of the War Memorial, it would be like a Sunday, you know, that we could all say, yes, there's our pride and joy there.
It
And I
is.
think this is what the people of Benton and Roanoke County are feeling today, especially after the ceremony that Betty Kelly and Norman Jasper worked so hard on putting together that program.
It was beautiful.
It was absolutely fantastic. And in watching it yesterday, it was, you know, brought back so many memories. And I thank the Lord that I was healthy enough and the rest of them were healthy enough to complete this project. It, you know, it's a labor of love.
It really is. And Mary Beth, when people come out to see the monument, 6 a.m. to midnight are really some ideal time. I mean, any time. But when you come out in the morning and come out in the evening, it's completely different, isn't it? The experience, what you feel when you see the monument.
It's a different feel. It's beautiful and shining. You know, during the daytime, it's elegant. At night, it is so very stately with beautiful lighting. There's detail. The lighting has stars cut into it so that it casts across the beautiful saying engraved inside the columns. And Larry Betchel wrote that saying, "Here Paul's a while," and it's stunning. And I do encourage folks to visit anytime. Everyone's welcome. We've had visitors. Just earlier this week, 2 ladies came from West Virginia specifically to see the monument. They'd seen it in a local newspaper and they wanted to visit. We've had folks from South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, and
don't forget about the girls that came for Betty Kelly. That were in the Navy with them.
Yes, the Navy Waves.
The Navy Waves. They were here and had a blast during the time.
They did.
And you interviewed them, I think, and they had such a good time. And they said that this is not only for reverence, but it's also happy times. I mean, you know, this to show the world, yes, we served, yes, we are here, and yes, we do want to honor those that have given their lives and those that are fighting for us now. So I was just so proud of those women for even coming.
They were wonderful.
They were just a real hoot, and they had a great time.
I think so.
And even our speakers and all, with the general and all, and Danny Kelly. Danny, you know, just lives right over the hill here, and he grew up here in Benton. And to see him there in that white uniform, stately, I'll cry now. But to me, that bringing home the small town you cannot beat. And we have this small town feeling right here in Benton.
We do.
As you know that.
And we have a big heart.
Yes.
A big heart.
A big heart.
Right. Well, ladies,
I'm big all over, but it's okay.
No. But in closing, I just want to commend both of you and thank you for what you've done on behalf of the veterans of Benton and Roanoke County. I know it was a huge team effort, and that the two of you were part of a bigger group.
Please state that because of the fact we're only a small part of the big picture that got it.
That's right. Ladies, thank you.
We appreciate the support too, the town of Benton and Roanoke County, because early on they stepped up and provided support.
Absolutely.
And we do appreciate every bit of that.
For a wonderful cause. Thank y'all so much.
We still have bricks and we still have donations.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Booty. Thank you, Mary Beth.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much.
And stay with us. We'll be right back. We're here at the Glenver Library, which in a matter of weeks will be a hub of activity as the county prepares to build a brand new library here at the site. Diana Rosapep is the county's library director and is here to bring us up to date on this project. Now, Diana, the last time we spoke, it's been a while, the county was hosting a number of community meetings designed to get input from the residents here to find out what they wanted in a new library. What'd you find out?
We found out a lot. Our citizens in Glenver had a lot of ideas for us, and we held those meetings in February, March, and April, and they were well attended. Citizens came out, sat through the presentations, looked at the plans we had, and then gave us their ideas about what they wanted in their library. And I'm happy to say that almost everything they asked for has been included.
Well, give us sort of a sneak peek at what might this new library have in it.
Our citizens, I think, primarily were looking for access and space and light and good computers and room to move around in. If you're familiar with this library, you know moving is not something you think of right away.
No, I was going to say essentially everything that this library is not.
Yes. The space we're sitting in right now may be the largest space in the building. So the new library, however, is going to be 3 times this size, and be better laid out, include features such as a computer lab and a great space for kids and a new space for teens, which is a new service we haven't had before, and lots of computers.
And it's long overdue. It's been a very long time since this library was constructed.
This library opened in 1978 and really hasn't had anything significant done to it in the years since, and it's been heavily used in that time, so it's kind of a sad, woe-begone building now.
When will we see renderings of what the new building will look like?
We have initial design schemes for it, but it's not really ready for prime time. The architects are now putting it together for us, so people can see its glamour shot.
Well, while they're preparing that, what will be taking place?
This is kind of the period when the public may not see much is going on, but a whole lot is, especially on the library's part. The building that we're in right now will close on August 19th at the end of the business day, and then remain closed for a week while we transfer all our services over to a temporary library at 2630 West Main Street, which is going to be even tinier than this, and the collection will be restricted and our services will be a little bit smaller, but it's only for a year. And then we'll come back to a beautiful new building.
We will. I guess I mentioned the hub of activity, and that will be in August when you'll see a lot of moving of books and various items from this location again to the new place that the county has leased. Give us a better idea of where that temporary library is at.
The library is right on Main Street, about 2 miles down the road, just inside the city of Salem, which has been very gracious in welcoming us to have our library there. And I think it's going to be very visible to people, especially people in this community who know the library and know the area.
The county, I think, county library system has been fantastic in trying to keep people up to date on what's taking place with the project. You can plan to continue to do that on your website?
Yes, I hope people will check our website. They're always welcome to ask the staff or call us. We also try to update people through Facebook and Twitter and other postings, and we put pictures out on our site, which are kind of interesting to look through.
I guess those photos too will sort of show the construction phase.
Yes, it's part of the record that we're keeping of the project. When we get to the end of all of these projects, we want to be able to look back to see where we started and where we ended and how we got there.
And so how long do you think that the construction period will take before we have this new building?
The construction period, we think, will take about 12 to 14 months from the time that it begins late in the fall.
All right. Well, fantastic getting an update from you. Thank you so much, Diana.
Thank you for coming. Welcome to the library.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Dan O'Donnell, Assistant County Administrator, and I'm here with Chief Richard Birch, who's our Fire and Rescue Chief for Roanoke County. Glad to have you with us, Chief Birch.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning.
Good to see you. We're here to talk about volunteer recruitment a little bit. One of the big issues that your department and other departments face throughout the country is volunteer staffing. Why is that so important for Roanoke County?
Well, we have a combination department where we mix career personnel with volunteers, and that gives us the best coverage in the most economic and effective way. But nationwide, there's been a shortage of volunteers over the last 5 or 10 years. And it's really because of people's time, the time availability that they have to volunteer. So it's crucial that we maintain the number of volunteers that we have so we can provide the fire and rescue services that we do.
How many volunteers do we currently have, and what's the trend then for the county?
We have approximately 250 volunteers, and we've been very good on recruitment, but we have a pretty high turnover rate after about 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that's what we want to concentrate on.
Okay, and what are the basic requirements if someone wants to become a volunteer? What do they have to do, and what kind of experience do they have to have coming in?
Well, no experience coming in. They can come in as young as 16 in our junior program and 18 as a senior firefighter. But certainly we want someone with good character. Right. They have to have good character, good driving record, in good shape, willing to work hard. Right. And then be dedicated to continuing that training and running the calls that they'll run Christmas Eve, 2 o'clock in the morning, and just continue that dedication.
Now, you are involved in a new campaign with the Virginia Fire Chiefs Association to help recruit. My understanding is they have a grant and working with some of the fire and rescue departments throughout the Commonwealth for this program. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned earlier, this is a nationwide issue, and the Virginia Fire Chiefs Association obtained a grant from the Department of Homeland Security to research recruitment and retention of volunteers. There were 20 localities selected in Virginia, and we were one of those 20s to participate in this campaign.
Right. So we have some funding to help with recruiting efforts.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us about that. The grant itself. I understand there's a couple different categories that you're put in, and then you help recruit along the lines of one of those categories. Can you explain that?
Yes, sir. They divided the 20 into 2 groups of 10. One is a new technology with GIS systems where they're going to more or less try to come up with this is what a good volunteer would make in your community, so you could target those folks for recruitment. We were selected to participate in the traditional methods, that being your campaign posters, advertisements, just billboards and putting flyers in stores and getting it into the community, more or less with printed material, and using those resources to try to attract the attention of future volunteers.
So is some of this reason for 2 groups is they're going to compare and contrast and see which method works better?
Yes, sir. The traditional has been around for a long time, and with the new technology they want to do the comparison between the 2. And when this report is completed, it will not only help us, but it will be used nationwide.
I see. Now you have, my understanding is there's 2 advocates you have for social media. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Part of the program was that we would have a couple of our current volunteers to serve as advocates, and they all have a website that they can go to and a Twitter account that also that potential volunteers can go to and talk with these folks and ask them, what is it like to be a volunteer?
Okay, so even though we're in the traditional group, we're still going to use technology to help promote and recruit. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it sounds like a great program. We certainly need volunteers. It's an exciting thing for people to do. And a lot of our paid people come up through the volunteer ranks, so if people have aspirations to become a fire and rescue professional, it's certainly a great way to get the foot in the door. So welcome people to find us and volunteer if they can. Go ahead.
Roanoke County also has a tremendous incentive program that our Board of Supervisors have been doing for years, and we also offer workman's comp insurance and provide all the training, and all that's free.
Great. And if people want to find out more about fire and rescue or the program itself, where do they contact you folks?
They can call us at their office, 777-8706, or they can go to the website at www.roanokecountyva.gov/FR volunteer.
Okay. Well, thanks, Rick, for being with us today, and good luck on your program.
Thank you.
Roanoke County's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department is putting the finishing touches on 2 fantastic events scheduled for this summer. To learn more, we've brought in Wendy Schultz, Tourism and Events Coordinator for Roanoke County. Wendy, the fantastic part about this segment that we're doing and talking about these events is we're talking trucks all the way to Shakespeare.
Absolutely.
It's just such a wide range is what I'm trying to say.
It is, and it's going to be a fabulous summer. You know, we've got coming up the 16th of July is the first in a series of 2, the Shakespearean Dinner Theater.
Tell us all about that.
Oh yeah, well this year we're doing it at Amron's Winery, the first performance on July 16th. Then we have a second performance August 20th at Camp Roanoke. We are going to be outside under a night sky, fabulous, 2 Saturday evenings. The performance is 12th night, Shakespearean, with the tailgate performers who are phenomenal. They are just wonderful. This is the 2nd year we're bringing them back. We serve a complete Elizabethan meal along with the theater production.
Okay.
And it's $17 for both. If you prefer to bring your own picnic, it's $7. So the cost is exceedingly reasonable.
Is this something you've done before?
We did this last year. This is our 2nd year because last year we tested the waters to see how, and it was overwhelmingly successful. And everyone said, oh, please bring it back. So, of course, we're bringing back a different performance.
Well, one thing that strikes me is it's so different.
It is. It's very different. There's nothing in the valley like it. I mean, residents just love it.
Wonderful. So we talked about one, and then what have we got next?
Touch a Truck. Touch a
Oh,
Truck.
that is a very popular event.
Very, very popular. You know, this will be our 3rd year for Touch a Truck. It's actually an event where kids of all ages can come out, get inside. You can honk the horns. You can pretend you're the driver. We have every kind of imaginable vehicle. We even have a jet pilot who comes out and brings out the jet, and you can actually sit inside, put the hat on, the helmet rather, and it's a free event. It's at Green Hill Park on July 30th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That one's backed by popular demand.
Absolutely. We had last year over 170 different vehicles. The helicopters are there, motorcycles, trucks, cars. It's just so much fun, you know, and of course we have food vendors as well. We'll have a balloon artist, we'll have a magician. So there's other things as you're waiting to
do.
Exactly. Craft activity this year, but mainly it's the opportunity to get inside, look around, touch all kinds of vehicles that ordinarily you can't. Usually you stand off.
When you say touch a truck, normally you would think just walk up and see the outside of it, because that's exciting too to a little kid especially. But really to be able to go inside, sit down, blow the horn, I mean that's what this type of event is about.
Exactly. And experience what it's like, you know. And each one of the companies that comes out has their people there and their drivers to explain to everybody what it's about, how they actually drive, what that particular vehicle does. You know, the Red Cross, for instance, comes out with its disaster vehicle. You know, Roanoke County Police are out there with their SWAT mobile. So all kinds of things go on, and it's a fabulous learning experience as well as a fun time.
It sure is. Now, have I missed anything else that's on the calendar?
No, you didn't, but I forgot about the fireman's foam, because that is one of the fabulous. The kids love it.
All right.
It's actually this wonderful foam that we contain, and the kids actually get to play in it, and you can actually walk through it.
I remember that.
Yeah,
so that's part of the Touch a Truck event as well.
Exactly.
And all of this is at Green Hill Park. Give us the date again,
Sure,
Wendy.
it's Saturday, July 30th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Mark your calendar then, for sure.
Exactly, and it's a free event, so
All right.
it's fabulous.
Great. And tell us one more time the date for the Summer Stock Theater.
Certainly. It's July 16th, which is Saturday at Amron's Wine Cellars, and then on August 20th at Camp Roanoke, and the performance is 12th night.
All right, and if you're watching and you didn't get a chance to write all that information down, certainly go to the website too.
Absolutely. www.roanokecountyparks.com.
All right, Wendy, thanks again for all that information.
Thank
And good
you.
luck with your events.
Thank you.
On June 1st, Roanoke County Police and citizens worked together to save the life of a 4-year-old boy who'd fallen into a swimming pool at a local apartment complex. It was an amazing story about teamwork, and we're very fortunate to have 3 of the 4 officers who were there that day with us now to tell their story. Officers, thank you very much. We are joined by Officer Darren Hogan, Sergeant Jay Mates, and Officer Ricky Moore. We'll go ahead and start with you, Officer Hogan. You were there at the apartment complex on a separate, unrelated call, and you heard another officer, Bobby Zisselman, radio that there was some commotion going on near the swimming pool area. You heard the panic, and so did you race to the swimming pool, and what did you find?
Well, upon my arrival to the swimming pool area, I observed the 4-year-old boy, Quimir Cooper, laying on the ground outside the pool. He had already been rescued by 9-year-old Juliana Marquez at that time. Once I got there, I assessed him to see if he was breathing and see if there was a pulse, and there was not. He wasn't breathing, there was no pulse. I radioed in to rescue that we needed rescue right away, and that's about the time that Sergeant Mates showed up on scene.
And Sergeant Mates, you were actually there at the complex on the other unrelated call and in the parking lot, I believe, when you heard it?
Right. I heard Officer Hogan's calls on the radio. As we converged there, I saw Quimir laying on the deck. Officer Hogan relayed to me that he'd already checked his pulse and respiration, and that neither of those were present. Timothy Tilley, another citizen who was there, stepped up, said he knew CPR. Both of us together knelt down, and he said he'd do respirations. So between 2 of us, we started doing CPR on Quimir. At some point, he started moving air on his own, and then also got choked as he started to regurgitate some of the stuff in his stomach. At that point, we were able to clear his airway, do the Heimlich maneuver, and some other steps there, and ultimately he began to breathe on his own and regain consciousness.
What was that moment like for all of you there, knowing that he was beginning to breathe again?
It was a big relief, big relief.
And so at that point, you laid him on his side, and rescue arrived shortly thereafter?
Right.
And I think it was about maybe a week or so later, you got a chance to reunite with Kwamir and with Juliana and Kwamir's mother, and present her with sort of a token of appreciation from the department. Who would like to tell me about that?
Go ahead, Ricky.
Officer Moore, they put you on the spot.
It was really good. It's about, there's not much we can do to the citizens out here. When we serve them as much as we can, it's hard to appreciate the citizens and show them how much when they do things for us. If we need their help and they step in to help us, or even they help other citizens. So the best we could do is give them a little challenge coin and a token of appreciation.
And you gave that to 9-year-old Juliana and also to Timothy Tilley as well.
Yes.
And I know that was a fantastic day, lots of media attention and sharing of the story. It's something that we rarely get to do, rarely get to tell the good things. We then went, I believe it was before the Board of Supervisors, and were able to have them recognize you and the citizens too. Was that unexpected?
Yes, it was.
And tell us a little bit about what that was like too, because a representative from Senator Warner's office was also there.
Yeah, that was just nice too. It was a nice touch. That was unexpected as well, and it's nice for a change to have everybody there together, and the board of supervisors, and to hear their positive comments, and know that you're appreciated for things like that as well.
Ricky, what was it like too to have the family there both times, both at the swimming pool the first time when you reunited, and to have the family there again?
Well, it's good. It not often does everybody get to work together, the police and the citizens and the family and everybody, and then we all converge, and it's not a stressful situation anymore, so you can kind of talk about things you've seen and thank each other, because when it's going on at the scene, the last thing you think about is, thanking that person for what they did here and there, but then once it all clears and you see each other again, you can thank each other.
Right. And Officer Hogan, you got to see Kwamir running around several times since that day when you first got there and he was lying next to the pool. Mm-hmm. That's got to choke you up at times.
Yeah, it does. And I have a son that's about Kwamir's age and size, and at the scene, that's one thing that kept running through my mind is seeing my son laying there. And it was very heartwarming to see him running around and so full of life.
Right. And Sergeant Mates, did you ever have in the back of your mind, you were instrumental in doing the CPR, kind of directing that. Did you ever let yourself think that he's not going to pull through it there at the swimming pool that day?
Some of the stuff that we go on and the things that you see don't always, look that good, but for a positive outcome. But it never crossed my mind when we were working with Kwamir that he wasn't going to pull out of that. It was very surreal. That never entered into my mind. It was just a matter of sending up silent prayers and come on, you can do it. And he was a little fighter. He pulled through. Yeah,
there was a lot of positive energy there that day. Yeah. And just one last question, and any of you can respond. Does events like this reinforce for you why you got into the profession that you're in now?
Absolutely. That's what we do. You don't make a lot of money in this job. You risk your life all the time, but you do it to protect the citizens and help the citizens. And it's good to be able to give to the community, and then also to see that there's other people out there that help as well.
All right. I bet that's a sentiment echoed by both of you as well.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Officer Hogan, Sergeant Mates, Officer Moore, thank you very much for sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's all for this month's edition of Roanoke County Today. Thanks for joining us, and remember, for more information on Roanoke County events and programs, please visit our website at roanokecountyva.gov. Hope to see you again next month.